Hello, I'm Mrs. Charity. Welcome to the Glorious Heritage Overview of Catholic Church History. Discover the amazing story of the Church together as a family as you color and paste your way through the timeline and printables, which you can find on our website. And now, let's move into our topic for today.
Hello, I'm Mr. Charity, and welcome to the Glorious Heritage Catholic History video series. Today's topic is number 36, the Barbarian Invasions. If you look on your timeline and summary question sheets, you'll notice that we are in the Orange time period, which we have named Establishment. If you don't have a timeline or summary question sheets, you can find them on our website. We've been talking a lot about the Roman Empire in the last dozen or so videos. It all started when St. Peter moved to Rome. He was the first pope, and therefore when he moved to Rome, so did the center of the Catholic Church. Then, only after a few years, the Roman Empire started to persecute Christians. There were 10 major persecutions. Maybe you remember some of them. Then the Roman Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity, which stopped the persecutions of Christians. So you see, the Roman Empire was an important part of early church history. But the Roman Empire had an old problem, and also a serious problem, and that problem was called barbarians. To the north of the Roman Empire were several tribes of Germanic barbarians. They had many different names. There were the Franks and the Goths, the Burgundians, the Vandals, the Suebies, the Belgi, and many more. Almost all of them wanted to live inside the Roman Empire. The Romans, they had a lot of money, food, and other things, and the barbarians wanted to live like the Romans did, who had a very easy way of life. For the barbarians, life was much harder. They had to do more work to survive, and it was dangerous in those barbarian lands. For hundreds of years, the barbarians put pressure on the Roman Empire. But the barbarian invasions got more and more serious, especially in the 400s AD. In the year 406, there were a large number of barbarian tribes who gathered north of the Rhine River. Now, the Rhine River was the boundary line between the barbarian lands and the Roman lands. In the winter of 406, the Rhine River froze over, and the barbarians were able to cross in large numbers. Only a couple years later, in 410 AD, a barbarian named Alaric shocked the whole Roman world when he led an army of barbarians and he sacked the city of Rome. This was a shock, since the city of Rome had not been sacked for almost 1,000 years. The Romans realized that they were no longer invincible. They were too weak to stop the barbarians from advancing into their empire. The Western Roman Empire didn't last too much longer, because in 476, the city of Rome was conquered once and for all. But we will discuss that in a future video. Soon we'll be done talking about Rome, and we'll start talking a lot more about these barbarians. But we're not going to call them barbarians for much longer. Soon we're going to call them Christendom, because the barbarians will be baptized and convert to become Catholics. Okay, here's Mrs. Charity to tell you about the sack of Rome by Alaric in 410 AD.
Hello, I am Mrs. Charity. You just learned that a barbarian named Alaric sacked the city of Rome in 410 AD and shocked the Roman Empire. But Alaric wasn't as bad as you might think. He was not a Catholic, but he did show mercy to the Romans nonetheless. When his barbarians entered the city of Rome, he promised that he would not harm anyone who went into St. Peter's Basilica and St. Paul's Basilica. He also did not harm any priests or bishops and didn't harm any of the holy relics of the martyrs. He did steal a lot of Roman treasure, but he could have been a lot worse.
Welcome back. I want to read you a fictional story, a made-up story, of what it would have been like to live in Rome when Alaric came to sack the city. Here we go. Lucia was terrified. She had heard the rumors of the barbarian army approaching Rome, but she never thought they would actually attack the eternal city. She had lived in Rome all her life, and she loved its beauty and culture and history. She was a devout Christian, and she trusted in God's protection. But now she could hear the screams and the clashes and the flames. The barbarians had broken through the walls and were sacking the city. She grabbed her little brother Marcus and ran out of their house. She had to find a safe place to hide. She remembered that the churches of St. Peter and St. Paul, which were outside the city walls, the barbarian leader Alaric had promised to spare them if they hid inside those churches. She hoped that he would keep his word. She ran through the streets, dodging the chaos and the carnage. She saw people being killed and robbed and enslaved by the barbarians. She saw buildings being burned and looted. She saw statues and monuments being toppled and defaced. She felt a sadness and anger at the sight of her beloved city being destroyed. She reached the church of St. Peter and saw a crowd of people seeking refuge there. She pushed her way through the door and entered the sanctuary. She felt a sense of relief and peace as she saw the altar, the cross, and the relics. She knelt down and prayed, holding Marcus close to her. She thanked God for saving them and asked him to protect the city. She hoped that the barbarians would leave soon and that Rome could rise again. But Rome did not rise again. In only a couple decades, Rome would be conquered once and for all. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Come back for our next video where I'll talk about the differences between the Roman Empire and the Holy Roman Empire. They may sound the same, but they are very different. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new today. Visit our website www.gloriousheritagecartoons.com where you can find more educational supplements, cartoons, books, and printables. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram to get notified of our latest updates and videos. And if you like our work and want to support us, you can make a donation on our website or on Patreon. We really appreciate your generosity and kindness. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, and see you next time.